Well, apart from boasting the fastest track in the Southern Hemisphere and world-class dining facilities, Club Menangle also has an outstanding reputation for looking after both their participants and the harness racing horse. I'm here in the barn at Club Menangle, where it's 33 degrees outside and a very relaxing 22 degrees inside due to the outstanding system we have in place here, shedding a very nice cold mist over the participants and the horses. One gentleman who's very pleased with the fact that we've moved from the heat outside to these very cooling conditions here in the Menangle stabling area is the Education and Officer for Harness Racing New South Wales, Mr. Maurice Logue. Well, Maurice, good to catch up with you. And as I said, a lot cooler here. I think there's about a 13 or 14 degree turnaround.
It's great in here, isn't it? It's you really appreciate what they can do to cool things down when you go out into the heat.
Yeah, on Saturday night here we had the system going full blast, 40 degrees outside, and as I said before, it's around about 23, 24 degrees inside. And I know the horses would appreciate it, but so do the participants.
It's very important to look after both nowadays. The welfare of both are paramount to everything.
You would have liked these conditions in your days as a jockey.
It would have been very welcomed, I'll tell you.
Well, Maurice, you're here on an official capacity for Harness Racing New South Wales. Before we get into a number of details, first of all, Mates for Harness Racing, what an outstanding success this initiative has been.
It's been very good, and in recent times, unfortunately, we had to provide support for Peter Sullivan's family and also Peter, just in the last couple of months of his life, and sadly we lost him about a month ago now. But it's great to have that support there to help them during very difficult times.
Maurice, you've had a number of ambassadors scattered around the state of New South Wales, and they have done a wonderful job. But also the fact that the participants know that there's someone there that they can lean on.
Yes, it's always good to have somebody to have a chat to when you're having difficult times. It saves things from escalating and festering and becoming a big issue. At the moment, we're in a reactive mode because we're unable to go out and promote the way we would like. But as soon as COVID relaxes and we can get out there, we'll be out there promoting what we're doing, barbecues throughout the regions.
Maurice, it was a wonderful initiative and one that has attracted the attention of businesses outside of harness racing.
It has, most definitely. I've had a number of calls from different organisations. In recent times, Greyhound Racing New South Wales have contacted me to seeking information on how they can actually establish a similar system within their organisations.
Well, Maurice, you know you're on the right track when you've got other organisations wanting to jump aboard.
You do, most definitely. It's always a compliment when they're wanting to copy what you're doing and when they're seeking your advice to replicate the same in their own industries.
Now, apart from Mates in Harness Racing, we've also got some new initiatives coming into play probably early in the new year.
It is, yes. We've been working hard trying to establish career pathways and learning pathways for the industry. The issue we have at the moment is securing the services of a registered training organisation that are able to deliver funded training in New South Wales. We're in discussions with the Bendigo Harness Racing Training Centre, who have been delivering training in Victoria for 30 years, and it's now just a matter of time, and it should all be in place and approved by 2021.
Well, Maurice, explain to us the different departments that are going to be utilised.
Different departments. We're looking to provide education programs right across the industry. So, for instance, in your area, judging, we would be looking to upskill a current group of judges. We'd also be looking to deliver training to any new participants coming in, so they meet the standard that we require, and it's a very level and constant standard.
So I've got the judges ticked off. What other departments? Well,
we're looking at stewards at the moment. We're advertising for 4 trainee stewards. We've had a little bit of interest. We're very fortunate in that regard. We've been able to secure the services of Racing New South Wales, who are registered to deliver the stewards training, and we'll be accessing that as from next year as well. But the most important thing is a steward's role is a career. It's not just a job, it's a career, and it can take them anywhere in the world. As you know, Australian stewards are very much sought out in Asian countries and all over the world.
It's a tough and thankless job, but as you said, it can be rewarding.
It's very rewarding, most definitely.
Where do we go from here?
Well, from here, anybody that wants any further information should give me a call at Harness Racing New South Wales. It's also important to note, Michael, that with the work that we're doing, any stables that put on a trainee driver or a stable hand, would be eligible to access the 50% government wage subsidy once we have that RTO in place, and we expect that'll be in place very soon.
Just on back to the stewards, how long would a course take, Maury?
The course would take 2 years. So it's learning on the job. There's some classroom-based delivery, there's some distance education, and there's obviously the practical component where they learn on the job.
You're leaving no stone unturned, apart from the judging aspect, the stewarding. Also, you've employed Lucini to help out teaching the new breed of farrier.
Well, that's correct. What we've identified very early on is that despite the thoroughbred and the harness being very similar in the way they train their horses, and fundamentally the same, there are some very big differences, and one of them that I've highlighted is around the farriery. Most trainers shoe their own horses in harness, where in thoroughbreds, if you walked into Chris Waller's barn, you wouldn't see him with a set of pinchers in his hands. So we think it'd be wrong to not deliver some basic training in farriery to the up and coming trainers, and that's what we intend to do.
Well, I know for a fact that during my time with the galloping industry, and as you know, my late uncle Albert O'Cass, AOAM, and also my late cousin Wayne Cocass were both outstanding farriers, and they certainly brought on a new breed of farrier as far as the gallops were concerned.
That's right. Albert O'Cass was the Theo Green of farriers, really. During my time as an apprentice jockey, he serviced Theo's stables, and it was not uncommon for him to have 5 or 6 apprentices at one time and going around to all the stables servicing them.
Well, apart from some of those top-end jobs, Maury, what about young kids that are interested in horses but they may not want to be involved as far as a trainer or driver, but clerks of the course?
We've got a stack of avenues out here, and as you and I know, if you walk around the race course, it's not just about trainers and drivers that make the industry run. There's cameramen, there's media like yourself, there's the clerks of the course, as you've mentioned, there's the catering. There's a whole gamut of careers out there that we haven't even scratched the surface on yet, but we will be. We'll be providing opportunities for everybody.
And there's a very impressive list of gentlemen that you've put together to oversee all this.
That's correct. One of the things that we wanted to do was to engage with industry experts in all of the regions, so the concession drivers, they have a mentor in their own region that can assist them with their driving and help advance their careers sooner rather than later.
Well, all sounds positive, Maureen, that the harness racing industry is moving in the right direction.
Yes, it's a great step forward. It's been a long time coming, but we've been working very hard and we're getting there.
I think the underlining word is professionalism.
That's what we're looking to do, and looking forward to seeing the next batch come through and assisting the current batch.
Well, Maureen, nice to catch up with these very nice cooling conditions. Now we've got to go back out in the heat.
It's fantastic, isn't it? I don't look forward to going outside.